Joining us today is someone truly special, Dyumna Madan, a third generation entrepreneur. At just 19, she is the co founder of Project Clay, a mentorship platform that's helping students around the world get into their dream colleges and build passion projects that set them apart. She is currently studying economics at Northeastern University, Boston.
You might have seen her on Shark Tank recently, where she pitched Project Clay with so much energy and passion that she not only impressed all the sharks but also bagged an offer from Namita Thapar. And that's not all. Dyumna also won a grant from Ankur Warikoo during the CEO Challenge at Masters Union. From moving to a new city all on her own, to landing two internships at top edtech companies, to building her own venture from scratch, Dyumna's journey is packed with lessons, risks, and a whole lot of growth. Dyumna, we are excited to have you on Barely Balanced. Would you like to say something to our audience?
हाय गाइस यार आई थिंक पूरे एक घंटे में उनको सुनना ही पड़ेगा मेरे बारे में सो आई थिंक वी कैन
All right, kicking it off, can you tell us something about your childhood? Where were you born? How has the journey been like? Where did you go for schooling? And how did you think of becoming an entrepreneur?
Great. So I was born in Goa, and I spent 16 years of my life there. I studied in an ICSE school. ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं किया. I just played football for like 16 years of my life. मतलब मैंने और कुछ किया ही नहीं जिंदगी में. I used to play football and I was decent at math. That was my whole personality. And then in terms of my parents, they're both entrepreneurs. My grandparents are entrepreneurs. My great grandparents are entrepreneurs. So there was no option, right? It's like people are like, "What encouraged you to start the business?" It was like, boss, like if I wanted a family, no, but yeah. So from a very early age, my dad always talked about business. So I was really, really fascinated with it, and I knew I wanted to have something of my own and build it out, right? And then I went to boarding school in 11th standard because Goa is a great place for retirement, not so much for building a business, right? So I wanted to expand my thought process, and that's why I remember day one of boarding school, right? I was telling someone, "Oh yeah, I'm building this company. I'd love for it to hit 10 crores a year run rate," and they were like, "Oh, bust 10 crores, like that's it, that's your aspiration." I was like, ah. So day one of boarding school, I knew that I was in the right place where like I needed people to push me because in Goa, smaller place, you can be pretty big there pretty easily without doing much. So that's that. My brother is a baker, so I started my first company with him. Yeah, that's a little bit about me.
The company was Lost in Taste, right?
Yes.
I read your LinkedIn
It's very
description
unique.
about it. Yeah.
Thank you guys. I'm very proud of that one. I came up with the name.
And you love to cook. Do you love to cook?
I hate it. My brother loves it. So he's been baking since he was 8 years old. He's now 18. And he's at pastry school as well in Switzerland. So my job has just been marketing. Like if you ask me any startup I've ever built, my job has just been marketing and sales. I don't care what the product is. I just have to sell it. It's nice that this product I actually care about and I'm passionate about, but yeah.
Okay, so moving ahead, how has the experience been of shifting so many cities, at such a raw age? What were the difficulties you have faced?
Yet none. Honestly, like I've been very, very, very fortunate to find really nice people that have helped me. Like when I first came to Bangalore, the whole Bluelearn team helped me. When I went to Missouri, it was a lot of us. Like there were 40 new students in the batch, right? When I went to Boston, I feel like Boston it was harder for me to make friends because I was all in on the business. So that's what I was doing 20 hours a day. So it was I did not socialize as much. So I guess that was a difficult thing just socially, but it's never been an issue for me because again, like I am very front facing. Instagram and LinkedIn, I have over 30,000 like sort of followers there. So I'm constantly communicating with people and I was constantly communicating with clients. So it was never an issue for me. But yeah, I love moving cities. Like my dream school was USC because they had this program where every year you went to a new country, and that's what I want to do when I grow up. Just like I'd say, unfortunately, I am not going to be a teenager anymore from next month. But in a couple of years, that's all I want to do, right? Every 6 months, change countries, make films, build businesses. So I enjoy it.
So you have lived in Goa, you have lived in Missouri, you have lived in Bangalore, you have been to Boston. Which place culture do you like the most? Like, which is your favorite place to stay at?
California. So I went to California for a week. I visited Stanford and I fell in love. So I think a great city, great culture. It's filled with entrepreneurs, right? So if I had to rank, I'd say Palo Alto, where Stanford is first, then Bangalore, and then everything else. Goa will obviously hold a very special place now just because it's home. But it is from a business lens, it will be that. And then non-business lens, Goa is where I want to retire for sure.
Goa is
So,
my favorite place too.
Fair.
how did the idea of Project Clay come from?
Yeah, customers. This was never the plan. My plan was to help teenagers explore different fields. It just sort of snowballed into this where clients came up to us and said, "Oh, I want to talk to someone at DU," and they were offering to pay for it. So as a founder, I was like, "Okay, 3 years ke liye I've run a business without any revenue. Now that it's clearly coming, I need to change models." Like, I was pretty stupid founder for the first 3 years of my life, right? So it just there was constant demand. It just kept going up. People would refer their friends. It was again, we were making money, right? So as a founder, I was like, okay, gotta pursue this. And now recently we've shifted models again, like where 3 weeks back, instead of session by session, we now sell year-long packages, right? So it's always been driven by what does a customer need, what are they willing to pay for, how can we make the most impact in a consumer's life.
Also, I've read a couple of posts where you were sharing things about Namita Thapar, the founder of Bluelearn. So, how has he shaped your journey, and what have you learned from him? Also, while working at Bluelearn, plus personally as well.
Yeah, so I'm a very strong believer that I am not Dyumna, right? I am a mosaic of everyone that's ever taught me anything, and I think that's thousands of people across my life. Harish and Shreyans, who are the founders of Bluelearn, played a very large impact there as well. Um, Shreyans, for the week before Shark Tank, every day he sat with us for an hour or two, helping us with our deck and any questions we had, and telling us, "Bro, you'd be very stupid to say these things," right? Like I had never pitched to an investor before at that scale. Neither had he, but he had raised. They've raised what they raised 50, 60 crores, right? So he helped me immensely. I remember when I was at Bluelearn also, I was still sort of building. And both of them, anytime I had any question, both of them would sit with me. They'd take half an hour, 45 minutes out. They'd sit with their whiteboard markers. And our tables were writable. So they'd break everything down for me. And Harish helped me understand the power of social media, right? And Shreyans, pricing से लेकर नाम क्या रखना चाहिए, everything he was a core pillar in. So and as well as the entire Bluelearn team, right? They have been incredibly helpful, and I've always looked at all of them as elder siblings, right? In my journey, they have been my co-founders in building Project Clay. Like from the Shark Tank pitch, which I called Agrima for, who was a content writer, to SEO, which I called Janice for, who was the head of marketing, to community kaise sambalni hai, for which Chandan helped me out, who was my boss, head of community. Everyone at Bluelearn helped build Project Clay. So I am a very, very strong believer in taking help wherever you can.
Also, at Projectly, you have a mentoring network of 500 plus mentors. So, how did you manage to do that?
Yeah, snowball effect again. Like now it's 1,000 plus, right? After Shark Tank, thousands reached out, said, I wish I had this. So before that, also, it's just one person. Let's say we needed someone doing management at Yale, and we had someone that was doing biomedical. We just text the biomedical kid and be like, "Oh, can you help us find a management person?" So it is a network effect helped us get there. The first 10 were hard. After that, it's been easier.
How did the coming up of Ankur Warikoo help you? Like, he gave you a grant of
Um,
2 lakh rupees, right?
Yeah, I think the grant was the smallest thing. He has been available on email anytime we need anything. He watched the Shark Tank episode. He emailed me. Before the Shark Tank episode, when we were making our pitch, we sent him the pitch. He gave us pointers as to where we should improve. He's just been a constant supporter, constant critic wherever we needed it. Helped us with our business model. So, Mark was a great man.
Is there a special story where you have mentored some student and someone, and that story is very basically close to your heart? That, oh, ye project playne kar diya, and this is a special story.
Yeah, like in terms of prestige, one fuck it's gone to Berkeley. That's great. But other than that, I really enjoy working with students on the extracurriculars. I'm a very strong believer in the fact that you can learn a lot outside the classroom as well. I learned most of what I did outside the classroom, right? So all our students that are building startups, that are building robots that can clean lakes, that are publishing books. Um, I take a very personal interest in those students. Where I love building with them. One of our students just launched their own t-shirt brand. Then there's someone launching a food brand, building AI tools. So I'm seeing a very clear growth also in their paths because they're building these businesses. Um, yeah, those make me really happy.
Did at any point while you were building Project Clay, you felt like, "Ye nahi ho raha. I just want to leave this and want to pursue something else." And if
Every
someone
second.
said कि ये तो चलने वाला नहीं है, इसे बंद कर दो. Like the judges at Shark Tank too told you that this is not scalable. So how did you deal with all of that?
Yeah, it's an everyday thing. Like every second, it's like, should I give up? Right? I'd say go on Reddit, go on Shark Tank, and just type Dyumna. Like it's there's a lot of like this kid is stupid, right? And I've been very front facing since I was 15, 16 years old. I've been putting stuff out on the internet, so I've gotten a lot of hate already. So I have a pretty thick skin now. Like I think आपको opinion तो बहुत मिलेंगे, right? मतलब they have stopped mattering to me other than the people that actually know what I'm building and my family, right? So I have a very close knit set of mentors that I go to when I need help, and anyone else's opinion doesn't matter because as a young entrepreneur everyone feels like it's their duty to give you gyan, right? And that is okay if they have expertise in what they're saying, right? But even someone that's building an almond company will be like, हाँ तुम edtech ऐसे चलाओ जब मैं तुम्हारे age का था. So I think that's fine. Like I will be the same when I'm older, right? And I think it's my moral duty to guide young entrepreneurs. So I think it's just a lot of people will talk, right? It's just up to you कि आप किसकी सुनना चाहते हो. And for me it's pretty clear to me who I want to listen to, and these are like veterans in education, right? They've been building their own thing. I'm at Mesa as well, so speaking to the founders here constantly every week, that also helps. And in terms of ये business नहीं चलेगा, look, I think while running a startup, out of 30 days in a month, you'll have 3 good days if you're lucky, 1 good day normally, right? So I think, but you live for those highs. It's like at that point you're now addicted to यार वो जो एक good day है, that's so good that it's like ये कर सकते हो आप, ये 29 days और रगड़ सकते हो अपने आप को इसके लिए. So I think just understanding it's just a very tough journey, and that's why a lot of other people will not do it. But I have the privilege to not think about where my next meal will come from, right? Or where I should stay. So I think it's still easier for me than most entrepreneurs, but it's just difficult.
If we talk about Shark Tank, I have two main questions. First is how did you actually prepare for the Shark Tank pitch? And second is how was the overall experience while you were giving your pitch?
In terms of experience, I don't even remember it. It's such a blur. But I remember like it being like, boss, like this needs to end because it was pretty tough. Like it was pretty, they grilled us a lot. What was the first part of the question?
How did you prepare for the pitch?
Huh. Just talked to a lot of mentors. Like I talked to Warikoo, I talked to Shreyans. We worked on just pitching, and what we did was we looked at like 250 pitches to understand what they're gonna ask and prepare ourselves. So yeah, not much on that, but we had to fly back from the US to India also, so jet lag was also there. So just dealing with all of that. But other than that, it was again like once in a lifetime experience. I think we were too early. We should have maybe gone this season, but it's fine. Like I'm not. It was a great opportunity.
Were you nervous anytime on the pitch?
Sorry?
Were you nervous at the set at any point of time while giving the pitch?
Every minute.
It didn't seem like that.
I am very good at pretending. Like I'm fantastic. Like will you believe I'm an introvert? I am very bad at talking to new people actually, but I've like trained myself now. So
You're a very good orator. You're a very good orator.
I have no other skills. So I am good at sales and marketing, and I have no other skills. So I had to
Well,
get good at
sales
speaking.
sales is the most difficult part. Convincing someone into believing your idea requires a lot of knowledge.
I agree. I agree. But I think sales is everywhere. Like, again, like I tell this to everyone, यार आप from getting a job to getting a date to getting your first employee, investor, आपको जो करना है यार, आपको घर से बाहर जाना है, मम्मी पापा को कन्विंस करना है कि मुझे बाहर जाने दो. A couple of years back, that is sales. यार, everything is sales. So everyone should get a sales job once in their life.
How did you both decided to get into this? Like, I read that you both were in the same school. You were in Woodstock back then in Missouri. But how did you join hands in the business?
So he joined on as a mentor initially. He was mentoring, and he was really good at what he did. So and he was the topper in math also in our school. So I was like, यार मुझे finance में मेरा issue आ रहा है, आप please मदद कर दो. And then slowly he just started doing more and more and more. And eventually I was like, boss, co-founder की तरह ही आ जाओ. Like there, I can do what he can't do. He can do what I can't do. So it's a pretty good mix. So he just got inculcated into this.
As the Sharks rightly said, you guys are like the perfect balance as co-founders.
Yeah, absolutely. And we pitched again to Anupam a few days back, and he was really happy that we're still together, me and Shivam. So yeah, I think it is a great balance.
Where did you pitch, by the way?
High school pitching challenge of Mesa. So I pitched to Anupam again.
Is there a sector apart from edtech which you have an eye on? कि okay boss ये sector तो मतलब boom होने वाला है. Let's just keep an eye on it. और अब start करना होता फिर से तो I would have chosen this sector.
AI for sure. I mean, that is a no-brainer.
Hmm.
Other than that, yeah, consumer apps in India have really blown up, right? Like AstroTalk and AI speaking apps. Like the Indian consumer is finally willing to pay for services and apps, which is incredible, right? So I would continue to do something in the consumer app space just because I also don't enjoy B2B as much. I enjoy talking to customers and seeing results firsthand, right? Working with kids. Other than that, personally, I'm passionate about filmmaking, storytelling, social media. I think there's a lot of room there as well. But yeah.
You seem
How
like a
did
very
Insta-
creative person.
Yeah, true that.
Thank you. I'm not great at like art and stuff, but I do enjoy making stuff with me like shit. I made that, right? Like I like telling stories and of like the stuff that's happened because I think yeah, like when I went to America, like I have like 5, 6 like stories that I'd love to tell from there. I'm not getting the time to film these days. So I need to take that time out for sure. It does energize me.
How has LinkedIn and Instagram helped you in building Project Light?
Bro, it's done everything for me. Like my first customer, my first employee, investor calls, Shark Tank. The Shark Tank producer had seen my reels. That's why they were like, "Oh, we'd love to have you." Like because they knew I'd be good in front of the camera, right? So it completely changed my life. Every young founder, my first question to them is, "Why are you not on Instagram? Why are you not telling? Why are you not making storytelling reels? Why are you not establishing a brand around your company?" Right? So I think there's this concept called asymmetric returns where that's the motto of my life. Like symmetric is like आप इतना डालोगे आपको इतना मिलेगा. Asymmetric is आप इतना डालोगे आपको इतना मिल सकता है. And I think Instagram is that. So anyone that does not post on Instagram and LinkedIn, I think are idiots, right? So I think very very important to use those.
If there is any one key piece of advice you would like to give to our audience, what would that be?
I think just start like this business I'm running. I had no plans to be running this, right? Your idea will pivot. You will talk to customers. They will tell you they do not want this. You will put new features. Eventually, it'll be a different product. So just start. Like if you think, oh, मैं perfect बनाऊंगा product, then only बेचूंगा, then only I take it to market. कभी होगा ही नहीं perfect. Right? You have to talk to customers. You have to fall flat on your face 10, 15 times. We had days where I remember one of the summer courses, no kid showed up. So me and my co-founder pretended to be students with different accounts and came because we were like, what do we tell the instructor, right? So because they're doing it for free, all of this. So आप गिरोगे, you'll do embarrassing things, but it's fine because no one like most other students are not doing it, so you'll be ahead anyways. And I think learning rejection is the biggest skill that anyone could have. So I'd say just get started.
Also about Instagram, like this is very vague question, but in general, if you had to give certain pieces of advice to a co-founder or a founder कि आप Instagram पे ऐसे start करो और this should be your strategy to scale your personal brand on Instagram ताकि लोग आपको देखें and eventually it will help your company as well. What could it be?
Just storytelling. I think like a lot of founders jump on trends, but there is no point, right? Your reel will blow up to 1 million. Who will really follow you? When my first reel blew up, 10,000 people followed me from that reel. 10,000 because they wanted to see what I'm doing. If I'd done a trend, even 10 million people would not have led to 1,000, 10,000 people following me, right? So I think it's very important to tell your story. Each brand, I do not believe any brand is original, right? That's why when people say यार तुम्हारा competitor बन रहा है बना लो 100 और बना लो, right? I do not care. My brand is stronger. I know my quality is better, right? So now they do not know your quality is better. I'm saying it as a founder because I'm biased, right? They are following for like aap kaun ho, right? Like people have been following me since I used to make RCB match reaction videos. Those people have now seen me go on Shark Tank. So there is a very strong why, right? So talk about why you're doing what you're doing, how you're building. Be honest, be truthful, build it with your audience. And that'll be the differentiator at the start, right? Because right now it's like, oh, Dyumna's company. Eventually I wanted obviously not to be that. A year down the line, quality speaks for itself. But till it can, why do people buy from you? For you, right? So that would be my biggest tip. Stop chasing trends. Build a community.
Pretty unique thing because people say कि trend कर लो, trend से तो you'll get views and stuff and you'll just your page will blow up.
हाँ, but views का कोई फायदा ही नहीं है, conversions ही नहीं होती. Like Ranveer Alabadia said that all his app sales come from the YouTube videos, none from Instagram. Even though his reach on Instagram is 10 to 100 times more, right? Because the audience on YouTube is watching you for an hour, they're connected to you. So how can you do that on Instagram? By telling stories, right? How can you connect on Instagram? Because it's such a attention span is so low. So yeah, that definitely build a community and go on YouTube if you can.
So thank you so much for your time. It was lovely shooting with you.
So, yes, guys, that was it for today's episode. Hope you liked it. And if you have any more questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section. All right, bye bye. See you in the next one.